I'm Tom Kinghorn-Evans and I'm a stonemason and conservator working across Wales. I've been involved with the work at Craig Gwladus for a number of years now, I think 4 or 5 years. For those who don't know, Craig Gwladus Park is actually set on the remains of an old drift mine, so it's sort of an important part of our industrial heritage. All the assets now are sort of ruins. The only one that really sort of is still imposing is the engine house here, which is sort of a formidable building, but it has in the past sort of few years started to show sort of signs of decay with trees, sort of invasive trees growing in through some of the coin stones and some of the masonry. What we're trying to do here really is we're taking a team of trainees, people who sort of have some sort of existing knowledge of construction or sort of conservation work, masonry, who want to take it to the next level.
I live in Neath, so I'm local. Never really knew this existed because it's quite hidden compared to the Knoll, Margam and all that. So I applied for the thing, managed to get on it, and hopefully I want to learn more skills and and it's more of an art compared to brickwork, because brickwork is more build as fast as you can, high as you can, make sure the quality is good, where stonework is more take your time, make sure it looks good, make sure it's structurally sound, and this is a good opportunity to leave a legacy behind as well.
Here we're in Craig Gwladus Country Park, trying to find out a bit more about the building. This one's a bit obvious, as you've seen from filming down below. You can see there's still a standing structure here. What happened inside the structure we're not quite certain of, and in fact we dug over the other side last year, and there we've uncovered loads more than we expected to.
Well, the key thing here is we're at the entrance to the main drift of the Gellir colliery, which would have worked from the 1860s, mid-1860s up until the early 1880s. But the main drift is directly across up the slope from us here. The building, the structure we are on is actually where the winding engine was situated. A huge drum would have been winding the drams out of the drift. So it's quite an important part of the colliery. It's quite a rare survival. You won't see many of these around. It's probably dates to 1860s, 1870s. We're not 100% sure of that. One of the problems we've got is that when the local Bevans brewery company, who owned this mine when it closed, when they closed it, they literally demolished it. They sold everything, all the machinery, the scrap metal, everything was sold off. So whatever was here, they partially demolished. So we've probably lost the upper part of the building. We suspect there would have been walls and a roof on it with the winding engine in the area we see it behind us here. But we have no real idea. We've no plan, no photograph, no map, nothing to guide us as to what it looked like. So by excavating it, we're looking for things like bits of masonry, roofing slates potentially, anything that will tell us something about what sort of building was here, and also how this huge winding engine was actually mounted. It would have been steam powered, which would have provided the steam power to drive the winding engine and drive this huge winding drum, which we've had cables running into the drift. And the drift goes in, I think, between 1 and 2 kilometres into the mountain, so you can imagine the pulling power that this engine would have had. It would have been quite a heavy piece of machinery.
Long term, we're looking maybe to make this a focal point of the park, encompassing sort of some a museum element perhaps, or sort of an interpretation or engagement element.